Welcome back, folks. I'm Frizz, and today I'd like to take some time to talk about spellcasters. More specifically, I'd like to talk about how spellcasters lack any way to get item bonuses to their spell attack rolls and spell save DCs, unlike how martial characters can easily get item bonuses to their attack rolls. It's been a recurring topic that's been coming up for as long as 2A's been out, and I thought that it was about time that I toss out my 2 cents on the matter. Before we actually talk about my opinion, though, I think that it's pretty important to acknowledge why Paizo hasn't just given spellcasters a way to get these item bonuses already. And it had to be an intentional decision by Paizo, since there's no way in hell that they aren't aware of all the discussion online. What it comes down to is that in the past, spellcasters were 100% too powerful, and when designing 2E, Paizo definitely wanted to turn down the power curve in multiple ways. While I understand that it isn't the most fun for a lot of people who love playing crazy powerful wizards, I think that ultimately it was a good move that led to leveling the playing field and actually making high-level martials feel just as valuable as high-level spellcasters. While Paizo limited spellcasters in multiple ways, like making saving throws scale automatically so no creature has truly horrible saves, and implementing the incapacitation trait, lacking item bonuses might be the most impactful way. Simply put, even if your spell attacks like Disintegrate deal a ton of damage, they aren't going to be broken if you have a substantially lower chance to hit than every other martial character. And I feel like I should make this clear, but these item bonuses are genuinely impactful. People complaining about spellcasters aren't making a mountain out of a molehill. It has a big impact on every single spellcaster. For example, if you compare a level 20 wizard with a level 20 fighter, there is probably going to be a 3-point difference between their attack modifiers with spells and weapons respectively. That 3-point difference means that a wizard has to roll 3 higher to hit and 3 higher to crit. That's a pretty huge difference in accuracy, and more importantly, a wizard can only pair so many useful spells every day, while a fighter can make strikes literally every single action of every combat. Having a limited resource isn't bad by necessity, but having that limited resource also be less accurate isn't very fun. But what exactly could be done about this? And more exactly, do I think that a general replacement for potency runes for spellcasters is a good idea? Well, kinda. I do think that spellcasters should have access to an item that gives them an item bonus on spell attack rolls and spell DCs, but I don't think that it should apply to all of their spells. Seriously, think about that. Marshals don't get to buy one item that gives a status bonus to all of their weapon rolls, do they? They have to pick 1 or maybe 2 weapons to improve, and I think that it's fair to say that spellcasters should also have to specialize. Plus, I'd like to avoid overpowered spellcasters if at all possible. My main idea is pretty simple. A new item called something like a spell catalyst that can have maybe runes carved in it that give you an item bonus on spell attack rolls and spell DCs, but only for 1 spell for every spell level that you can cast. That way you have to pick and choose what you want to enhance, but your other spells aren't useless because you can always cast buff spells or spells that don't require spell attack rolls or spell DCs. And even if you do prepare things with spell attack rolls and spell DCs and that aren't being improved by a spell catalyst, you're just at the current level of power, which isn't unusable. Another option would make these spell catalysts be associated with a different trait and then enhance those specific spells. So you could have a fire spell catalyst or something, and now your fireballs and flame strikes and scorching rays have a higher spell DC associated with them, or a spell attack roll for scorching ray. In case that's too powerful, because it's applying to a wide array of spells, you could always say that your spells that don't have the fire trait take a -1 penalty on their attack roll or save DC while it's invested or something. That might be a little bit too extreme, but it would reward you for specializing in playing the Pyromaniac Wizard of your dreams. And you can always, again, cast buff spells from your other spell slots. You don't only have to cast offensive spells. Ultimately, I don't expect Paizo to implement a way to add item bonuses to spells. They have had quite a few chances at this point, so it seems like their opinions on the matter are pretty clear. I do really hope that they change their mind, though. While I understand that balancing game where someone wants to play Doctor Strange and someone else wants to play Captain America, is basically impossible since those two characters are on completely different levels of power, I don't think that giving players who love playing spellcasters a few boosts is the wrong move. While I definitely want to avoid overpowered spellcasters, Paizo may have gone a little bit too far in the opposite direction, and I like giving people things that they like. I would like spellcasters to be just as good as martial characters, and yeah, I can always dream. And what else is this channel for than me ranting about what I want into the void? Thanks for watching. I've been a bit hesitant to talk about this for a while now since I've never actually played a full spellcasters before in 2e, but it felt like the right time. Keep in mind that all the ideas that I've proposed in this video are entirely theoretical, and I have no idea how well they would mess up the game, or even how well they would actually work. Well, with that disclaimer, what are your thoughts on the whole situation, and do you like my ideas? You've experienced playing in a homebrew game where someone did give an item bonus to spellcasters? I'd love to hear from you down below in a comment. Regardless, until I see you next, live a wonderful life.